Hello everybody, welcome to Utah. Apparently the winter this year is kind of weak. I'm about to load up the Yamaha onto the back of the Jeep. I have two of these now. Occasionally I've been asked in some of my videos where you can get these hitch mounts for motorcycles. This I got two from Harbor Freight. This is the more recent newer one I have. They're pretty good. I wouldn't recommend putting anything really heavy on these, but that Yamaha is also the same weight as a TW200 Yamaha, so it's not too bad. It can totally handle this. I think this thing is rated for 400 pounds, although the Harbor Freightness of it all, yeah, I mean, it'll totally carry something like a mini bike, a small dual sport dirt bike, but don't be putting any Harleys on here anytime soon. The Boneyard, which is a local Salt Lake gym, it's about an hour from me, so I don't know if anybody noticed, but these handlebars are tweaked. I think it was dropped on this side once, so I've always kind of had a hand further out here than over here, so I want to fix that. Maybe even find some handlebars that are taller. I would get new ones, but I want to see if there's some nice and good ones at the Boneyard, because they got a lot of course, used motorcycles. I warmed this thing up, so we're going to put on trailer now. Yep. First kick. It's warm though. That's not a cold start. I just cold started it 30 minutes ago. And then you can turn it off in gear. Just an extra layer of caution. Now, of course, it's going to do this, so hopefully you have your strap ready. Yesterday I did get some new parts for the bike at the motorcycle junkyard I mentioned. They weren't really like camera or filming friendly if I just had a camera on my chest or something like that, so I wanted to just kind of skip over that for respect for the property. It's an awesome motorcycle parts junkyard. I'm gonna hit up a place in the Great Salt Lake called Stansbury Island. It's mainly known for off-roading and shooting, target shooting. So it is a pretty cool place. I've been there plenty of times. It's been a while since I've been there though. At this time of year though, it can get pretty muddy, so I want to see how muddy it is. I'm guessing pretty muddy, but on the other hand, this winter has been pretty mild. Not too much snowfall so far here in Utah. Hope is a cat, and a cat goes meow. When you're camping in the middle of nowhere all the time, and overall you're doing it solo, it gets pretty lonely. I mean, unless you're doing it as like a couple with somebody, of a significant other, even if like a friend is willing to tag along, it gets pretty lonely if you're boondocking or camping a lot alone, or if you're doing van life, RV living, even if you're just like out in you have a property or something, you have a cabin out in the middle of nowhere, but you're alone for some reason, then having a pet helps so much. We're here at Stansbury Island. She thinks it's interesting. Stansbury Island is so cool. However, what's weird is that last time I was here, there was a little more public land. Some of the land was purchased, I'm assuming, by either the same owner or some deal like that, who already owned the private parts of this island. But I couldn't tell you for sure. Oh, crap. I'm assuming they're shooting that way. She's interested. Yeah, they're shooting towards that, but I don't want to get in the way. There's plenty of reasons we don't need to get in the shot today. Yeah, a lot of target practice around here. It's quite popular. I want slower for this. Oh, dang. Nope, stop. Stop. And then it stalled out. That view is gorgeous though. Oh, look at that. Sheesh. No. No, the fuel drip. I mean, it's a two-stroker. I'm not too worried about it. Nah. No, I don't feel good about that. Okay. Oh, prop against my body. I need to vent heat on here. Whew. Oh, frick. Oh, so warm. There are two types of riding. There's the riding that makes you cold and the riding that boils you when you're ready for cold. And this was one of those. Look at that view. That's just stunning. This is why I like it here. You don't get huge lake with mountains in the desert just everywhere. But dang. I'll tell you what though, I'll be honest. I would prefer a 4x4 for that trail. Even on like a brand new bike, yeah, it would do well, but there's so many rocks that make you lose your footing. On an old bike like this with limited suspension, it really struggles to keep its rear tire on the ground. Even when the pressure's lower. Good thing on this, good thing I bumped up the pressure a little bit this morning. I could let some out right now, it wouldn't hurt. But it does make it better on acceleration, gas, and all that stuff. But who cares up here? Right here. All that matters is getting where you're going, right? Oh. Oh. I do need to gear it lower though, to tell you the truth. Okay. So, kind of tracking our, and the front brake when you're going backwards does nothing. But you need this foot down here. Your right foot's got to often keep you footed, so you got to somehow keep your front brake ready. Nothing this is steep on camera as it is in person, but trust me. Gotta keep it. It is so rocky here. This is so sketch. This is so sketchy. I'm not a bad rider, but I'm not this experienced. Oh, great. I'm just gonna, I gotta drop this. This is fun, but it's also, this is the kind of fun where I'm like, it'll be cool that I did that. Hey, wasn't it sketchy? But great. Just throws rocks back. anything. See what I mean? I want a two-wheel drive, like, up-go bike with perfect traction control. This is the old-fashioned way of doing it. The view is amazing, but it's so sketchy to ride right here. This is so sketchy. It's just so steep, and the rocks are so slippery. The rocks just give you nothing in terms of real traction on it. Not even a knobby with low pressure and it just doesn't do anything. It just gets no traction on those rocks. Nothing. This is stunning. You know, this is some single right here. Don't look at the clip of death. I need to gear this bike lower if I'm going to do this kind of stuff. I should have got a bigger rear sprocket yesterday while I was at the motorcycle junkyard, because they have lots of them. Especially for what I think what on this is 520 chain, something like that. Pretty sure it is. But it needs a little bit lower. Clutch is fighting for dear life out here. This is just stunning though. But I promise you it's sketchy. It's like risk versus reward. The risk is more than your average city cruise on a motorcycle. The reward is you get this as your environment, your view, everything, man. This is just stunning. This single track isn't so bad. It doesn't have any, you know, massive, concave, huge boulders. Knock on wood. That I have to skip around on so much. Decided to use this bike for up here is because this is my bike right now, and it's either do this bike or take the Jeep or walk. In most off-road scenarios, my favorite mode of getting around that is on a bike, but there are some scenarios where four wheels are very nice, and for that road that took us up here, a rock crawler was kind of the vehicle I had in mind for something that would be good at that. This is a different trail. Yeah, I feel like that's about to be very steep, and I don't really want to do that right now. I'm just gonna shut her down, and I'm gonna just look in the view, and I probably will turn back. I'm very warm. Look at this lovely rack I got yesterday. Right now it's only bolted on 2 points, but I got nothing on it, so I'm not worried about it right now. Whew. You know, honestly, I'm pretty impressed the bike did what it did right there. That is definitely one of the harder trails, if not the hardest I've taken that bike. I promise you that when you have small but just big enough slick dry rocks on a very serious incline, that'll test the hardest core of off-road vehicles. I promise you that. If you have open diffs, you're struggling. If you have locked diffs, it's gonna find a way to reduce your traction wherever it is. Like for something like that on a 4x4, I'd want locking diffs, really aggressive tires, just because it's so slippery. It's like driving on what's a good analogy? Think about this. If you're rock crawling on just solid stuff, right, then you can almost think of it as like you're just on a really difficult road, because it's so much harder than if it was dirt. If it's mud, you sink in, but you don't necessarily have to worry too much about. You know, I just realized I'm standing with this view and I'm thinking about the technicality of off-roading on different various terrains, but I don't know. I think that's kind of the cool thing about out here. I hope you guys are enjoying the new GoPro footage. This is a GoPro Hero 12 Black. It's making this motorcycle stuff way easier to film. I'm pretty simple. I don't need something like a 360 cam. In fact, I don't even really care for the look of a 360 cam. For me, just a simple GoPro that'll do what I gotta do is more than enough for me. So as you can see, that road is what took us up there. So it looks like you have even two different ways you could technically go up or down if I kind of take a closer look, right? I mean, this looks like a freaking Apple wallpaper. I mean, this is so sick. I love this. And you know what's even cooler is, like, there's another island that's quite more popular than Stansbury by a good margin, but it's Antelope Island, which is way up on the north side of the lake. I mean, it's kind of in the middle in that respect, but it's far more north than here. This is just outside of Grantsville if you wanted to come here. Looks like you got a separate trail there, and then you have your trail that I went up, which was the one on the other side of probably a little stream or river or water runoff. Yeah, a lot of people shooting here. I can see my car from here. Dude, I will tell you what, this is simply stunning. And this is just here. This is just hanging out here. It's not overcrowded. There's no like tourist gates or anything like that, other than the private property that's seemingly even more common on this island than the last few years I've been here. You can do this. You can just come here and shoot your guns or ride your 4x4s or your dirt bikes. Have fun. I'll tell you this. I am very independent when it comes to people telling me what to do. When it comes to my form of recreation, as you can kind of see, I'm not a big fan of like the super vanilla tourist experience. I actually have never really been a fan of that, to be honest. I mean, every time my parents would take me somewhere, I've always wanted to kind of see off the beaten trail sites, and really I only was able to truly do that once I started traveling alone with it, whether it was in my car or my camper, which for being a young Gen Zoomer it's one of the few affordable ways I can travel. Well, I say affordable, yeah, you got to pay for gas, but you don't have to pay for a hotel if you do what I do and have your car ready for sleeping or camper or whatever, right? And then you can just kind of go and do your thing, right? And I mean, this place is amazing. I've been here before plenty of times, but actually not up here. This is the first time I've been at this general site up here. This is just so good. Oh, and that bike is shimmering. She looks great. And I am astonished she made the climb, because that thing was, she was struggling. She was struggling to keep traction. Now, again, I think I probably didn't give her enough speed, and I'm gonna take some air out of the tires a little more because I need to. This stuff is slick. I really couldn't care less about any other thing other than trying to get the most traction I can. And these are good tires for off-road. These are Shinko knobbies. It's an 18 in the rear, 21 in the front. I mean, it's a 1975 DT, but she's off-road a bull for the time, at least, right? I'm just kind of going by feel of the cushion here. These are double beadlock rims. I'm not worried too much about getting a pressure that's too low. In fact, in this case, there's probably not much of too low that I could go beyond flat. Now, uphill sketchy, downhill, that's gonna be, luckily, it doesn't have power going to both wheels, but it does have brakes on both wheels, but they are drums, so we're gonna see how it does. Yep, all right. Okay, so got a right here. Yeah, those tires feel a bit better. A little more squishy, which is what you want out here. So, no, I don't want to. Okay, clutch modulation, and we got both brakes engaged when need be. The rear brake look, I gotta actually do it. The rear brake does work, but the front brake actually might stop a bit better than most. Oh, this is so steep. Oh, we're dragging it. Oh, we're dragging so bad. Oh, that's the steepest part though. One of them. Ooh. I just gotta move. I gotta stand up. I gotta move. I can't just crawl like that. This bike won't let you do that. It won't let you do that. And just so you know, my oil injection pump's working great, so don't say anything about idling. Oh, this is so sketch. Oh man, this is so sketchy. On this bike, it's so sketchy. Oh, every little rock. Oh, every single little rock, man. Oh. Is it easier to do? No, not necessarily. Because it only, you want to modulate your speed so when you have to brake, you don't just fly off a cliff, which is lovely, knowing that that is a nice possibility here. But if you're going down a hill this steep, dude, I mean, this trail on camera doesn't look so bad. I promise you that it sucks, at least on an old 75 motorcycle. You know, toughness, yes, it can handle it, but it's not technologically there. Maybe the other path would have been better. I don't know. I'm beyond the worst of it. Oh, oh, oh. Oh. All right, yeah. Let's go. Oh, I can't let it go too fast though. It's getting cliff. Oh, oh. Oh. Honestly. Oh, oh, oh. God. Dang. Oh. Okay, we're beyond the worst. Dude, I love that. I need to upgrade the suspension of this bike if I'm going to do that again. Oh, God. Oh. And gear it way lower before I do that again. If I ever come back to this particular trail. Which is a possibility if I actually upgrade those things. Because I'd like to try them. public here, but north side of that side and that side is not public, and north side of Island is. Imagine living there. I think that'd be pretty sweet. Lovely.